Jesus teaches on polygamy and the divine order of marriage and procreation. Jesus Christ reveals through Jacob Lorber the household of God. History of the primal creation of spirits and matter. The first patriarch from Adam to Abraham. Volume 3, chapters 63 and 64. Chapter 63. But Lamech did not think on it for long, and soon came up with the following question, which went as follows. O Lord, most excellent, most loving, most holy Father, since you have already granted me great grace by calling me to speak before you, and to inquire you about all manner of unknown things, I now dare to make perfect use of this infinitely great grace. Behold, on many an occasion have I considered whether or not it is right and just before you for a man to take for himself several wives. Nature might be in favor of this, in that the man is capable of procreation on an almost daily basis, but the woman can only truly conceive once a year. If we inspect this relationship in the light of a reasonable mind, polygamy appears to be perfectly appropriate to nature and to the cause at hand, in that the population can only gain from it and never lose anything. However, on the other hand, if we were to consider the always equal proportion with regard to the number of individuals, once again it appears as if you had not determined it to be this way, for the number of women here and there is not seldom smaller than the number of men. Occasionally it is quite equal, and only rarely is there an insignificantly larger number of women than men. But this relationship evidently contradicts the first desire of nature, which, however, is to be approved by reason. For if I allow polygamy altogether, 1,000 men will immediately be left without a wife, who are nevertheless just as capable of procreation as those who would possess many wives. But if I would not allow polygamy, then a man capable of procreation almost every day may only really do so once a year, which nevertheless appears to be contradicting man's nature. O Lord, above all else, I would like to be illuminated properly. But the Lord answered Lamech, Behold, this is a very good and truly wise question. And the true leader of such a numerous people must not lack a perfect answer to this question. And so, here, I will give you a proper answer to your wise question. Behold, if polygamy were part of my order, in the beginning I would certainly have created 360 wives for Adam, the first man of this earth, so he could have made proper natural use of his daily procreative capacity. Adam still lives on high to this very day, and will continue to live for many years to come. Yet, behold, I created for him but a single wife, and to this day I grant one male but one female. And from this you can easily draw the proper conclusion that man is destined by me to have only one wife, in spite of his more abundant procreative capacity. But as for this, it is not given for the conception of an abundant offspring, but for vigorous procreation. And thus a man with a wife may beget fewer children, but all the more vigorous ones for it, whereas only the greatest and most immature weaklings may emerge from abundant conception. For every seed will bring forth bad fruit, or no fruit at all, if it has not fully matured first. So it is all the more the case with man, for it is a matter of awakening the most noble of all fruits. And so, one woman shall remain the norm, and it suffices if she brings forth but a single fruit every 3 years. Do you understand this? Of man's desire to possess many beautiful women, and the maturation of man's emotional prowess in the love of God. Chapter 64. And Lamech, overjoyed at this incredibly important instruction, inquired further and said to the Lord, O Lord and Father, this must be right. I see it clearly now that, according to your holy order, a man shall have only one wife. However, during your holy instruction, a new point occurred to me, which, at least from a certain spiritual and moral point of view, would make polygamy appear as the right thing to do for many a person. But I, a guide as appointed by you, from my limited sphere of knowledge, would certainly have no right to label this reason completely false. Therefore, I wish to make this dangerous point known to you, without the slightest reproach. For you have graciously allowed me to speak, and so I will now speak before you whatever my minuscule knowledge grants me. And the Lord said, interrupting Lamech a little, You are right to do so, but do make it concise, and refrain from too many excuses, for time is precious, and I am not like a foolish man, to whom must be rendered 1,000 excuses until he grasps something. Therefore, do not trouble yourself, and just get to the point straight away, for I have known for a long time already what you will ask me. And so, it is an easy thing for you to speak, for you can safely assume that I will truly understand you. Now then, tell me of this still worrying point, but without any explanatory circumstances, something I have no need of to grasp a speech. Now speak boldly. Have a go at it. And Lamech, a little humbled by this brief yet sharp rebuke, uttered the point in question right away, which went as follows. But a man feels something, and accordingly he takes for himself not one, but many wives. And this feeling is a true glutton. For if a man already possessed 2, 3, or even more of the most beautiful wives, but then came across yet 100 more wives of a different kind, behold, instantly he would feel a strong urge to take possession of those as well. However, since man is not his own creator, a role that befits you alone, why then does such an urge exist within him, which, according to your order, must not be realized? Is it not man that has given himself this dangerous instinct? And the Lord replied, Behold, the richness of emotion is very much the same as the rich endowment of procreation. The feeling that expresses itself as a powerful trait or instinct in the heart is a rich procreative faculty as well, but only in the spirit. But if a man is a lecher, and scatters his seed among the streets and lanes. Tell me, will such a fundamentally weakened individual, with his procreative capacity watered down, ever be able to beget a fruit of proper and just measure, even with a fertile woman? Behold, he will not, for no more spiritual juice can be squeezed out of the mark. Yet it is the same with the richness of emotion. Let a man gather his feelings in his heart, and then turn it all to me. And once its strength has attained just maturity, then he will find in me the source of all things, and thus of all women as well, however beautiful they may be, the most sufficient and most satisfying substitute. With this most powerful of feelings, he will be able to love a woman with holy righteous strength, and never will his neighbor's wife tempt him. Know this: in this world, everything within man is but a formative disposition for an infinitely sublime and eternal purpose. And so, he must not make use of the powers perceived within him until they have fully matured. However, just as the fruits of the earth only ripen in the light of the sun, so too do the spiritual powers of man only ripen in my light. Therefore, may every man turn his strength to me, so he will grow to become a perfectly mature and powerful man in my order. Yet he who will not do so is guilty of his own death. Do you understand this?